Holy smokes, here we go again. We're going to do some more quadratic formula. Now, I'm going to do a couple of different things here. Hopefully it makes a little bit of sense. Hopefully you've seen the quadratic formula before. I'm going to assume that you have because this is now the second one and I've done a couple other previous videos. So here we go, straight into it. We've got 5x squared plus 21x equals negative 18. Quadratic formula, you need it to be ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Our first priority is to get it equal to 0, so we're going to add 18 to both sides. There we go. We now have 5x squared plus 21x plus 18 equals 0. Okay, now we got that, so now let's go ahead and we got a, which is 5. We got b, which is 21. We got c, which is 18. All right, now at this point we'll plug it into our quadratic formula. X equals negative b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. There you go. Now at this point, if you need a calculator, go ahead and pull out the calculator. I'm okay with using a calculator with the big numbers. But here we go. X equals negative 21 plus or minus the square root of 21 squared. Now I know this is 441, not because I'm a genius, but because I already worked this problem wrong once. I made a mistake and I wrote 44 instead of 441. So it's 441. If you don't believe me, plug it into your calculator. Minus, now I've got 4 times 5, which is 20, and then 20 times 18 is going to give me 360. Now that one I do know because I'm a genius. I'm just kidding. Okay, 2 times 5 is 10. All right. X equals negative 21 plus or minus the square root of 441 minus 360. So 360, 370, 380, 390, 400. So it looks like it's going to be 81. Is that right? Yes, that's right. Over 10. X equals negative 21 plus or minus the square root of 9. Not the square root of 9, sorry. The square root of 81 is 9 over 10. And then from there, x equals negative 21 plus 9 over 10, or x equals negative 21 minus 9 over 10. So that means x equals, let's see, negative 21 plus 9 is negative 12, so negative 12 over 10, or negative 21 minus 9 is negative 30 over 10, which we are, of course, then going to reduce because we are good little algebra students. So 6 over 5 and negative 3. And I'm okay with you leaving it as an improper fraction. There you go. On to the last one. Here we go. Last quadratic formula for the day. So here we go. Ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. We need to move the 8. Let's go a little bit faster this time. We've done it a couple of times now. So here we go, plus 12x minus 8 equals 0. Once we got that, you could go straight into the quadratic formula if you want, but I'm going to tell you a little trick. Back when we did factoring, what was the first thing that we did once we got it equal to 0? We factored the greatest common factor. You can do that with the quadratic formula too, and it gives you smaller numbers, which are easier to work with. So let's do it. What's the greatest common factor? It's a 4. So let's take out the 4, which will now give me 2x squared plus 6x, not 6x, 3x minus 2 equals 0. Now really you can divide everything by 4 because there are two sides of the equation. If you do it to one side, you do it to the other side. So if you would have divided everything by 4 instead of factoring, that's fine too, and you just end up with 2x squared plus 3x minus 2 equals 0 divided by 4, which is 0. This is going to be a lot easier to work with because now a equals 2, b equals 3, and c equals negative 2. That's a lot easier to work with than having 8s and 12s. Right? Right. Tell me I'm right. Thank you. I'm right. All right, so here we go. X equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b, or 3 squared, minus 4ac, right? A is 2, c is negative 2. We put it all over to a. Now we simplify. X equals negative 3 plus or minus the square root of 9. Negative 4 times 2 is negative 8 times negative 2 is 16. So plus 16 all over 2 times 2, which is 4. Oh man, we're getting close. X equals negative 3 plus or minus the square root of 9 plus 16, which is 25. Oh, look at how nice that works out. So x equals negative 3 plus or minus 5 over 4. So let's see if we can do this in our head now. We're getting smarter. Negative 3 plus 5 is 2 over 4. 2 over 4 is 1/2. All right, negative 3 minus 5. Negative 3 minus 5 is negative 8 divided by 4. Negative 8 divided by 4 is negative 2. There you go. Those are your answers. We are done.